Get it, girl. Hey, I'm Amber. I'm a childbirth educator, lactation educator, and certified doula.
I'm Nina. I'm Nina coming. I'm Nina coming. Nina. Really? Okay.
I want to give y'all some insight into what's going on with this new Tricare support and how it impacts us in birth work. So just last month, October 29th, the Department of Defense released this statement regarding Tricare and doula and lactation support coverage. So it sounds really great. It has a lot of positive things, even throughout the page, which I'll put a link below so you can read it for yourself. It talks about the benefits of having a doula and the research that backs it, and really that this is almost like, they call it a demonstration, but almost like an experiment to see if this is actually true, and they'll be able to kind of compare previous research with this program. With this program, it will provide doula and lactation support for Tricare recipients. This would apply to pregnant people that are at least 20 weeks pregnant and that are going to receive care through Tricare authorized facilities, but would qualify for also home birth, birth centers, and hospitals that are Tricare authorized. They would get up to 6 total prenatal and postpartum visits, so total 6 between those two, and full continuous labor support. So the birthing people would not have to provide any out-of-pocket pay for their doula support. What this means for birthing parents: this means that now you have access. Your insurance that you're already getting for military families is going to cover this additional benefit that can be greatly beneficial for a lot of communities, especially those that are underserved, even within military families. So for example, helping Black birth disparities, this could be a huge deal. So that is a benefit, and that is a pro that we cannot take lightly, right? Now, what does this mean for birth workers and doulas? This is where it gets tricky. There are restrictions on who is eligible to be reimbursed for supporting, right? So let's go into those really quickly, and then we can kind of discuss and unpack how that affects different communities of doulas. In order to qualify for reimbursement, the doula must be certified in one of 5 certifying organizations. Those 5 include BirthWorks International, DONA, CAPA, ICEA, or To Labor. They must have attended a training curriculum that has been at least 24 hours, including various requirements, attended 1 or more breastfeeding courses, 1 or more childbirth education courses, have attended at least 3 births in the past 3 years, being the primary doula, at least 2 of which must have been vaginal and have totaled over at least 15 hours. Within the past 3 years, must have provided at least 1 client with postpartum or prenatal support, must have a current adult, infant, and child CPR certification, have a state license or certification if it is offered in your state, even if it's optional, and must have a national provider identification number. That sounds all good and dandy and very thorough, but let's go ahead and go back to the 5 organizations that are accepted for reimbursement and certification. Doulas are an unregulated industry, so there is not one licensing, certifying, or training organization that sets the expectation for what doulas are supposed to embody and represent. This list specifically, they state, were chosen based on their requirements and their scopes of practice, but this list does not include some of the most diverse and inclusive programs and organizations available. These organizations are not known for their cultural competency and for inclusion, and with that, not understanding that support looks differently for different communities of people, that's a huge negative. Let's move on to pay. What exactly is the reimbursement that you will receive as a birth worker if you qualified for these requirements, right? So the reimbursement for your prenatal and postpartum visits, which you only get a total of 6 per client, for reimbursement will be $46 per visit, no matter the time limit. And the fee you'll be reimbursed for continuous labor support will be a total of $690. Again, regardless of the time limit and how long you're there. So for a full support package, your total would be $966 if you did a total of 6 prenatal and postpartum total visits and continued labor support. It also mentions that elective abortions are not covered under doula support for this Tricare demonstration, which again, many of those that happen during pregnancy may happen in the first 20 weeks based on different tests that you can get done or that do get done, and where you kind of are in your body and in your pregnancy and what's going on in the womb. My final thoughts on this is it's very interesting. I didn't get super excited when I read through because it is very exclusive and coming more from a place of a luxury. I think that the benefits of making doulas more accessible to more people and also bringing doulas more into the conversation is huge and very important, and I'm super grateful for that. But if this is any indicator of future legislation for doulas and birth workers and how certain groups will be excluded or almost treated as if they're not competent based on the organizations that they're associated with, I think that might be a bit of a slippery slope, and we need to be careful about that. So as birth workers, we need to make sure that we're keeping our ear to the streets and any new legislation and changes that are going on, because there's a lot of changes happening. Doulas are being more and more pushed into the forefront as far as mainstream. More people know what doulas are than they did before. There's a lot of things going on and changing as far as Medicaid reimbursements now, Tricare reimbursements, and that's only going to grow. If you're considering being a doula, think about how you want to doula and what things are important to you. And if working with military families is going to be a big push for you and something that you're considering and interested in, then you need to make sure that you're falling in line with those requirements, right? Those of you that are not too happy about the requirements, then speak up. Sure that our voices are being heard and we're out in the community. Also make sure that we're reaching the clients that need to be reached. This is one step in the right direction, and it has a few flaws, but the bigger message here is to make sure that anybody that wants support has access to it. What can we do to kind of move that and push that forward? Let's keep this conversation going below. Tell me your thoughts and your ideas. What do you think about what I'm saying, and what do you think about this demonstration that they're doing? I also put the link below, so make sure you read it for yourself and see where you fit in all of these changes, right? As always, I'm here to help. Please let me know if you need anything, and I will talk to you guys later on another video.